You have heard it all your life. Nuts are a superfood. They are nature's perfect snack, packed with healthy fats, protein, and fiber. You are told they are good for your heart, good for your brain, and good for living a long, active, healthy life. But what if I told you a shocking truth? What if I told you that after age 60, for some specific people, that simple healthy handful of nuts could actually be a poison? It sounds unbelievable. But based on the latest medical guidelines from top organizations like the Cleveland Clinic and the National Kidney Foundation, the hard truth is that for 7 specific health conditions, eating nuts is not healthy at all. It is dangerous. For some people in this group, eating a single nut could send them to the emergency room within minutes, struggling to breathe. For others, it could be silently destroying their kidneys year after year, building up toxic minerals in their blood without them ever feeling a thing until it is too late. Today, we are health detectives. We are uncovering the 7 groups of people who must never eat nuts freely. And you must listen very closely because condition number 2 is a silent assassin. It is a condition that affects millions of older adults, and most of them have absolutely no idea that their favorite healthy snack is slowly making their condition worse. If you want to protect your health and learn the truth from science, please subscribe to our Ageless Vitality channel right now so you do not miss any important warnings. Are you ready to learn the truth? Let's go. Before we open the list of dangerous conditions, we need to understand something very important. Why would a healthy food suddenly become bad for you? The problem is not the nuts themselves. For a perfectly healthy 20-year-old nuts are indeed wonderful. The problem is that no one warned you that the map of your own body has changed significantly after 60. And some specific health conditions have completely changed the rules of the game inside your body. To understand this, we need to think of your body in a different way. Think of your kidneys. They are your body's filtration system. Think of them like the water filter pitcher in your kitchen. When that filter is brand new, it works perfectly. You pour tap water in the top, and it quickly filters out all the impurities, leaving you with clean, fresh water. It can handle anything you pour into it. But think about what happens to that filter after years and years of constant use. It gets clogged up with gunk. It starts to work much slower. And if you keep pouring dirty water into it, eventually it just stops working altogether. Or worse, it starts letting the dirt seep through into your drinking water. Your kidneys are the same. After decades of hard work filtering your blood 24 hours a day, they can become tired. If you develop chronic kidney disease, it means your filters are damaged and clogged. They cannot do their job properly anymore. Now here's the connection. Nuts are packed with certain minerals, specifically potassium and phosphorus. For a healthy young kidney, these minerals are no problem. The kidney just filters out what it does not need. But if you pour those minerals into a broken, clogged kidney filter, they do not pass through. They get stuck. They build up in your blood to dangerous, toxic levels that can damage your heart and your bones. Now think of your digestive system and your immune system. Think of them like security guards protecting a building. When you are young, your security guards are alert, strong, and fast. They know exactly who the bad guys are, and they can handle rowdy visitors easily. But after 60, your security guards are a little bit tired. They have been on duty for a long time. Sometimes your immune system guards get confused. They see the harmless protein in a nut, and they mistake it for a deadly invading virus. So they sound the alarm and launch an all-out attack on your own body, causing a severe allergic reaction. Or think about your digestive guards. They are supposed to process the food you eat. But nuts are hard, dense, and full of complex fats and fibers. They are like rowdy, difficult visitors. Your tired digestive guards might not have the strength to handle them anymore. The nuts might move too slowly through your system, causing painful backups, gas, and bloating. Or if your swallowing muscles are weak, the nuts might even get past the guards and go down the wrong hallway into your lungs, causing choking or infection. This video is not saying all seniors should stop eating nuts. That would be wrong. It is saying that if you have a broken filter or tired, confused guards, you need to know about it because the rules for you are different. We are going to walk through the 7 dangerous conditions one by one, grouped by the type of danger they pose. We will use the best medical advice from top organizations to keep you safe. Let's start right here with the first group. These are the immediate attackers. The conditions where a reaction can happen fast and furiously right after you eat. First condition, the allergy time bomb. This is the most obvious one, but it is also the most deadly, and it bears repeating because the consequences are so severe. And it is vitally important to know that you can develop a new allergy at any age. Just because you ate peanut butter sandwiches every day as a child does not guarantee you are safe now at 70. Our immune systems can change unpredictably. If you have a diagnosed allergy to tree nuts like almonds, walnuts, cashews, pecans, pistachios, or Brazil nuts, or an allergy to peanuts, which are actually legumes that grow underground, this is a non-negotiable rule. You must never eat them. This is not about getting a little bit of an itchy mouth or a mild tummy ache. A true nut allergy can trigger a severe full-body reaction called anaphylaxis. This is a medical term for your body going into shock. Imagine your body's immune system security guards suddenly deciding that the tiny piece of nut you just ate is a massive life-threatening threat. They panic. They sound every alarm bell they have, and they launch an overwhelming all-out attack. They flood your body with chemicals like histamine. This can cause your throat and airways to swell up almost instantly, making it incredibly hard or even impossible to breathe. Your blood pressure can drop dangerously low within minutes, making you feel dizzy, faint, or lose consciousness. You can break out in angry red hives from head to toe. Your face, lips, and eyes can swell up. You might start vomiting uncontrollably or have severe diarrhea as your body desperately tries to expel the poison. This is a life-threatening medical emergency. Without immediate treatment with an injection of epinephrine and a fast trip to the hospital, it can be fatal. The rule from top allergy doctors at places like the Cleveland Clinic is simple and absolute. Avoidance must be total. There is no such thing as just a little bit. You cannot just pick the nuts off the top of a salad and think it is safe. The invisible proteins are still there. You must become a vigilant detective reading every single food label every single time. Nuts hide in so many processed foods, sauces, baked goods, cereals, and even some vegetarian meat substitutes. And if you have a known allergy, you should always carry your emergency epinephrine auto-injector with you everywhere you go, just in case of an accidental exposure. It is your lifeline. Sixth condition, the choking hazard. I am jumping ahead to group this condition here because, like allergies, it is another immediate physical danger that happens right when you eat. This condition is not about chemicals or proteins inside the nut. It is about the physical shape, texture, and hardness of the nut itself. As we get older, many of us silently develop problems with swallowing. We often do not notice it at first. This is called dysphagia. This can happen for many reasons. It is very common in conditions that affect the brain and nerves like dementia, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, or as the after effect of a stroke. But it can also happen just from normal aging as the muscles in our throat and esophagus become weaker and less coordinated over time. Think of your throat and esophagus like a narrow, winding water slide that carries food from your mouth down to your stomach. When you are young, that slide is slick and the water flows fast, pushing everything down smoothly. But as you age, the slide gets a little drier and the water pressure gets lower. Things do not move as easily. Now think of a whole hard nut like an almond or a peanut. It is small, hard, and does not dissolve easily. It is like throwing a rock down that slow, dry water slide. If your swallowing muscles are weak or uncoordinated, that rock can easily get stuck halfway down. It can block your airway, causing you to choke and struggle for air. Or even more insidiously, it can go down the wrong pipe. Instead of going into your stomach, it can slip into your windpipe and down into your lungs. This is called aspiration. Your lungs are warm and moist, the perfect breeding ground for bacteria. When a piece of food gets stuck there, it can cause a very serious and dangerous infection called aspiration pneumonia. This is a leading cause of hospitalization and even death in older adults. I recall a patient of mine, Mr. Henderson. He had mild Parkinson's and loved to snack on a bowl of mixed nuts while watching TV in the evening. He started having these coughing fits every time he ate them, but he ignored it. One day, he developed a high fever and trouble breathing. At the hospital, they found a small piece of peanut lodged in his lung that had caused severe pneumonia. He spent 2 weeks in the hospital recovering. It is not worth the risk. Top geriatric specialists advise that if you or someone you care for has any difficulty swallowing coughing during meals or has a neurological condition, you should avoid whole chopped or slivered nuts completely. If you absolutely love the taste and nutrition of nuts, and your doctor says it is okay for your specific situation, you can try using smooth, creamy nut butters instead. They provide the same healthy fats and protein, but in a form that is much safer and easier for your throat to manage. Before we move to the next section, let me ask you a quick question. Have you ever eaten a handful of nuts and then an hour or two later felt sharp cramping pains in your belly or felt uncomfortably bloated like you swallowed a basketball? If you have just typed the number 1 in the comments below, it helps me know we are all learning together and that I am not the only one who sees this problem in my patients. Now let us move to the second group of conditions. These are the digestive saboteurs. The conditions where eating nuts turns a healthy snack into a source of pain and misery for your gut. Fourth condition, the angry pancreas. This condition is called pancreatitis. It is an inflammation of the pancreas, a small but vital organ that sits behind your stomach. Your pancreas has 2 main jobs. It produces insulin to control your blood sugar, and it produces powerful digestive enzymes to break down the food you eat, especially fats. Think of your pancreas like a chemical factory that produces special degreasers to break down heavy fats. When your pancreas is healthy, it handles fats easily. But when it becomes inflamed due to gallstones, alcohol use, or other causes, it is like that factory is on fire. It is swollen, angry, and painful. When you have pancreatitis, the golden rule from doctors is to give the pancreas a complete rest. This means eating a diet that is extremely low in fat so the pancreas does not have to work hard to produce those degreasing enzymes. Now here is the problem with nuts. They are incredibly healthy, but they are also very high in fat. Even though it is healthy fat, it is still fat. If you eat a handful of fat-rich nuts like macadamias or walnuts while your pancreas is angry and inflamed, it is like throwing gasoline on that factory fire. Your pancreas is forced to work hard to produce enzymes when it needs to be resting and healing. This can cause the inflammation to flare up violently, leading to excruciating pain, nausea, vomiting, and even a hospital stay. For both acute pancreatitis, which is a sudden attack, and chronic pancreatitis, which is long-term inflammation, the dietary guidelines are clear. You must avoid high-fat foods, including all nuts and seeds during the healing phase. Only after your pancreas has completely calmed down and your doctor gives you the green light can you even think about slowly reintroducing very small amounts of fats back into your diet. Do not gamble with an angry pancreas. Fifth condition, the sensitive gut. This condition includes anyone who suffers from severe digestive disorders like irritable bowel syndrome, often called IBS, or anyone who has recently had major surgery on their digestive tract like a bowel resection. If you have a sensitive gut, you already know that food can be your best friend or your worst enemy. And unfortunately, for many people with these conditions, nuts fall squarely into the enemy category. The problem here is twofold. It is a double whammy for your struggling digestive system. First, many popular nuts are high in specific types of carbohydrates called FODMAPs. That is a long acronym that stands for fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols. In plain English, these are certain types of sugars and fibers found in foods that are very hard for the human body to digest and absorb. When you eat these nuts, these sugars travel down your digestive tract completely intact until they reach your colon. Your colon is filled with billions of bacteria. When these sugars arrive, it is like an all-you-can-eat buffet for those bacteria. They start to feast on the sugars and ferment them rapidly. This fermentation process creates a lot of gas. Imagine a balloon being blown up quickly inside your intestines. That is exactly what is happening. This rapid gas production causes painful bloating, visibly distended belly, and can trigger urgent bouts of diarrhea or uncomfortable constipation depending on your specific type of IBS. Some of the worst offenders for these troublesome sugars are cashews and pistachios. They are delicious, but they can be brutal on a sensitive gut. Second, on top of the sugars, nuts are very dense and high in insoluble fiber. This is the tough structural part of the plant cell walls. For a healthy, robust gut, insoluble fiber is great. It acts like a scrub brush, keeping things moving along and preventing constipation. But think about using a stiff scrub brush on skin that is already sunburned and inflamed. It hurts. For a sensitive, inflamed, or healing gut, that tough, insoluble fiber feels like sandpaper. It can be incredibly irritating, scratching the delicate lining of your intestines and causing pain and inflammation. If you are following a special diet like the low FODMAP diet to manage your IBS symptoms, or if your gut is in the delicate healing phase after a surgery, nutritional dietitians will almost always tell you to restrict or completely avoid most nuts, especially in the beginning. Once your gut has healed and calmed down, you might be able to slowly reintroduce small amounts of lower FODMAP nuts like walnuts or macadamia nuts. But this should only be done carefully and with the guidance of your doctor or dietitian to see what your body can handle. We still have vital information to cover in the next part of this video. We need to get to the most critical part of all, the silent killers. These are the conditions affecting your kidneys and liver, where the damage happens quietly over time without you even feeling it until it is too late. Condition number 2 is the one that every single senior needs to know about because it affects so many of us and is so often misunderstood. Let's keep going on this journey to protect your health. Before we move to the final and most critical group of conditions, I want to give you a heads up. We are about to talk about your kidneys and your liver, the body's filtration and detox systems. Condition number 2 is the one I see causing the most confusion and hidden damage in older adults. Please sharpen your focus. This next information is vital. Now let us move to the third group of conditions, the silent killers. These are the conditions affecting your body's filtration systems. Second condition, the clogged filter. This condition is chronic kidney disease, often just called CKD. This is the silent assassin I warned you about. Millions of older adults have some stage of kidney disease, and many do not even know it because in the early stages, there are often no symptoms. Let us go back to our water filter analogy. Your kidneys are the filters cleaning your blood 24 hours a day. When you have CKD, those filters are permanently damaged. They are clogged up and they work much slower than healthy kidneys. They cannot filter out waste products efficiently anymore. Nuts are a very dense source of nutrients. For a healthy person, this is great. But for a person with CKD, nuts contain high amounts of 3 things that are very hard for damaged kidneys to handle: phosphorus, potassium, and plant protein. Let's talk about phosphorus first. It is a mineral essential for strong bones. But healthy kidneys are responsible for removing excess phosphorus from your blood. When your kidneys are damaged, they cannot remove it fast enough. the phosphorus starts to build up in your blood. This is dangerous because high levels of phosphorus can actually pull calcium out of your bones, making them weak and brittle, leading to osteoporosis and fractures. It can also cause dangerous calcium deposits to form in your blood vessels, heart, and lungs, turning them hard like stone, leading to severe heart disease, strokes, and circulation problems. High phosphorus can also cause incredible itching all over your body that drives patients crazy. Now let's talk about protein. Nuts are high in protein. When your body processes protein, it creates waste products containing nitrogen like urea. Healthy kidneys filter this urea out into your urine, but damaged kidneys struggle to clear this waste. Eating too much protein from any source, including nuts, increases the workload on your already struggling kidneys. It is like forcing a tired, injured worker to carry a double load. This extra stress can make your kidney disease progress faster, pushing you closer to needing dialysis. Because of these dangers, major organizations like the National Kidney Foundation give very clear advice. People with kidney disease should not eat nuts freely. They are considered a high phosphorus and high protein food that must be strictly limited. In later stages of kidney disease, you may need to avoid them almost entirely. In earlier stages, your renal dietitian might allow a very small, carefully measured amount of lower phosphorus nuts like macadamias or pecans as an occasional treat, but never as an everyday snack. Third condition, the potassium overload. This condition is closely related to kidney disease, but it can also happen on its own due to certain medications. It is called hyperkalemia, which is just a medical word for having too much potassium in your blood. Potassium is another mineral found in high amounts in many nuts, like pistachios, almonds, and peanuts. Like phosphorus, healthy kidneys easily filter out excess potassium. But if your kidneys are not working well, that potassium builds up rapidly in your blood. There is another very common cause for this in seniors: medications. Many older adults take medications for high blood pressure or heart failure that are designed to hold on to potassium in the body. These include certain diuretics, often called water pills like spironolactone, and common blood pressure drugs known as ACE inhibitors like lisinopril, or ARBs like losartan. If you are taking one of these medicines, your body is already holding on to potassium. If you then eat a potassium-rich food like a big bowl of nuts, you can easily tip the balance into the danger zone. Why is high potassium so dangerous? Potassium is the mineral that controls the electrical signals in your heart that make it beat. When your potassium levels get too high, it scrambles those electrical signals. This can cause muscle weakness, irregular heartbeats called arrhythmias, and in severe cases, it can cause your heart to suddenly stop beating entirely, leading to sudden cardiac death. This is why it is a silent killer. You often feel fine until it is too late. If you have kidney disease, or if you take any of these common medications, you must know your potassium status. You need to talk to your doctor about how much potassium is safe for you to eat each day, and you need to count the potassium in nuts as part of that daily limit. You cannot just snack on them mindlessly. Seventh condition, the liver burden. The final condition is for those with severe liver disease, or those taking certain special medications that are processed by the liver. Your liver is your body's main chemical processing plant. Everything you eat gets filtered through it. If you have severe liver disease like cirrhosis, your processing plant is damaged and running at partial capacity. It struggles to process large amounts of fats and proteins. Nuts are very energy-dense and high in both fats and proteins. Eating a large amount can put an extra heavy burden on a struggling liver. Furthermore, there are some strange reactions associated with certain nuts. For example, pine nuts have been known to cause a condition called pine mouth, where everything you eat tastes bitter and metallic for days or even weeks after eating them. While not life-threatening, it shows how nuts can affect our systems in unexpected ways. Also, because nuts contain many complex plant compounds, There is a potential for them to interact with the metabolism of certain medications that are processed by the same pathways in the liver. If you have significant liver disease or are on complex medication regimens, it is always best to consult your hepatologist or pharmacist before making nuts a regular part of your diet to ensure you are not adding extra stress to your liver or altering how your meds work. Wow, that was a lot of heavy information. We have covered anaphylaxis, choking, painful gas, inflamed pancreases, clogged kidneys, stopped hearts, and burdened livers. It can feel overwhelming and a little scary. You might be looking at that jar of nuts in your pantry right now and feeling afraid to touch it, but I do not want to leave you feeling afraid. I want to leave you feeling empowered with knowledge. We are entering the final chapter now, the wisdom of age. After all these warnings, I need to make something very clear so you do not misunderstand. If you do not have any of these 7 conditions, if your kidneys are working well, your heart rhythm is normal, your swallowing is strong, and you have no allergies, then here is the good news. You should absolutely keep eating nuts. For healthy older adults, nuts remain one of the best foods you can eat. They are proven to lower cholesterol, protect against heart disease, and support brain health as you age. The problem is not the nuts. The problem is the mismatch between the food and the specific state of your body right now. It is like wearing shoes. Running shoes are great, but if you have a broken foot, they are not going to help you, they are going to hurt you. You need a cast. The golden rule for health after 60 is this: do not follow generic advice. You must become the expert on your own unique body. Never make a drastic change to your diet, whether it is starting to eat a lot of a new superfood or cutting something out completely without first talking to the doctor who knows your personal medical history. They are the only ones who can look at your lab tests, check your kidney function, review your medications, and tell you what is safe for you. Be the wise manager of your own health, not just a follower of trends. Before I let you go, I have a small favor to ask. Did you see yourself in any of these 7 groups today? Were you surprised to learn about the connection between nuts and kidney disease? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experience is valuable and it might help someone else who is reading and feeling confused about their own health. And if this video helped you understand your aging body a little better, please click the share button. Send this video to your friends or family members over 60. You might save them from a dangerous allergic reaction or help them protect their kidneys before it is too late. Sharing knowledge is an act of love. And listen closely because our journey into hidden food dangers is not over. We talked today about how nuts can be dangerous for certain conditions. But there is another very common superfood fruit that is even more notoriously dangerous for seniors because it interacts directly with dozens of common medications, especially statins for cholesterol and some blood pressure drugs. It is a fruit that acts like a monkey wrench thrown into the machinery of your liver, causing your medicines to build up to toxic levels in your blood. If you are taking any pills for your heart or cholesterol, you absolutely need to know about this forbidden fruit. I have created a special video just to warn you about this major danger. It is called Why Seniors Should Never Eat Grapefruit If They Take These Meds. This is life-saving information that every older adult needs to hear. Click on that video that is on your screen right now. Let's go over there together and make sure your breakfast is not secretly sabotaging your health. Please subscribe to the channel so we can keep learning together. Stay safe, stay curious, and keep nourishing your ageless vitality with wisdom.